All right, here we are. We are live, and thank you for tuning in. This is such an exciting time. We have a really great question to ask you is when is it a best time to introduce your new partner to your kids, or even have your kids even find out that there is a new partner? Because that is a critical question. Like, what is the right time? And so what we have here is we've got one of our Global Academy experts, Dr. Leslie Beth Wish, who loves to go by LB, just like the initials Ladybug. So hello, LB.
Hello, see, this is my ladybug. See, to think in terms of a ladybug. That's what I like to do, LB. That's my nickname. Thank you for having me. And it is holiday time. So let's talk about how to introduce your new partner to your family, your children, or whatever is going on for you in your life right now over the holidays, especially when you've got someone who you want your family to meet. So let's start first with the most important thing, which is to plan. Get brave. So I'm going to put on my bravery hat, which is going to double as a thinking cap. All right? You're stepping out into new territory, right? This is new territory. How to really, really, really get smart, get brave, put on your cowgirl or cowboy self and think about what kinds of things need to be done. Cowgirls and cowboys are doers. They get things done. So I want you to plan. I want you to think first. That's your very first step. So what do? Let's say it's the holidays and you're bringing your new person to meet maybe your kids for the first time, your parents, your aunts, uncles, siblings. What do? So the very next step is I want you to think about what is making you anxious. Because the last thing you want to do is to cry out of regret. That why didn't I do this? Why didn't I say this? Why didn't I warn my partner about certain things? So let's work to minimize regret. So what can you do? You want to teach your partner all the things that they need to know, he or she needs to know about your family. For example, are there taboo topics? Here's a taboo topic. Money. We don't talk money. This is a little piggy bank, right? See the little slot for the money? You don't want to talk money. You don't want to walk around the house and saying, this is quite a spread you have here. This must have put you back some. Stay away from that. You don't want to talk about your great money or lack of money, anything. Stay away from money. Sounds like an obvious thing, but I can tell you, I have had families come to me and say, oh my God, my new partner got into a fight with my father about the best ways to earn money and to do marketing. Stay away, okay? Forget that one, particularly when you're new. The next thing you want to do is to prepare your partner for other things that they should avoid, like those hot topics. Hot topics in addition to money are politics, religion, illness. Stay away from those. Definitely stay away. So the other things that you want to focus on are what kinds of hot topics and personality difficulties is your partner going to encounter. Let's imagine that you got an important family member who's like Donald Duck. Remember Donald Duck? He had a hot temper all the time. So what you want to do is warn your person who's coming with you all about Donald Duck relatives. Okay, you see little Donald right there? So Donald was difficult. Right? So you want to inform your new partner who to avoid, who to be extra nice to, who to kind of pay attention to. Very, very important. Next, you want to help them learn what kinds of compliments to give, such as, this was the best dish I ever had. I understand it's your signature dish. Educate your partner. Remember, we're planning. We're getting into plan mode. Really plan ahead. Other things you want to do is bear in mind that your fears, remember when I held up those little tears? Hang on, I'm going to get it. Those tears are those tears of regret. So why are you feeling so worried? It's so obvious that you have had some important feelings about your family, about this new person, and you want to make sure that your family accepts them. But the flip side of that desire is your hidden concern, your doubt, your question mark as to whether you really, really have the kinds of feelings you want to have towards this person. Is this the right person? Do my parents and do my kids think this is going to be the right person? So those are the kinds of little anxiety motors that are going on in you. So be aware of them. Plan, okay? Keep that hat on, imaginary hat. Keep it on. The other thing you want to do is to encourage your new partner to find common ground between him or her and people at your house. So educate your new partner what kinds of interest your parents have, what kind of interest your kids have, because you don't have to be exactly alike. Because think of this. Watch this. Daisy, and this is Daisy Duck, and this is Minnie, and they are very, very different, right? They are totally different animals, totally different partners, but they find common ground, and that's what you want to do. So educate your partner as to what to talk about. Is it cooking? Is it planting flowers? Is it hobbies, sports? Find common ground to ease it. And that works not only with parents, but with kids. And as a matter of fact, you might want to bring some toys with you. One of the things that I bring to family events when I'm meeting new people who have kids is I bring those activity books. And that's great for kids like who are in the later part of middle school or elementary school. Activity books, you know, crossword puzzles, hangmen, find the hidden spoon, that kind of thing. Or bring your favorite stuffed animals or bring a book to read. Do something that will engage you with the children. Very, very important. So now we get to the really difficult question, which I think is even more difficult than what to do about bringing a new partner to meet your parents, because I've given you ways to make bridges. And by the way, when you are at a new person's house and you want to make a great impression, hang out with the kids. That's a great way to show what a caring, loving person you are. And if you're not comfortable doing that, or if the kids are running around and are rambunctious, here's the next tip. Hang out in the kitchen. These are your kitchen tools, right? Start mashing up potatoes, that kind of thing. Anything. Hang out in the kitchen. Make a casserole, stir one cup, cut onions, potatoes, anything, but get into that kitchen because that's where people spend a lot of their time. You won't have to struggle for what do I talk about. You'll say, wow, these potatoes look great. And, oh, that's a great oven. How many turkeys can you fit in there, or hams? So you're going to have an environment that naturally sparks a conversation. So that is an easy way. But what do you do about your kids? Okay, we're going to roll back the clock here, and you're going to go back into your planning mode. If this partner is very important to you, and that means you have mutual feelings for each other, it means that you've known them for a while, you've seen them during good times and bad times, because one of the things you absolutely don't want to do is to create an ongoing parade of strangers for your kids to meet all the time and to think to themselves, is this someone important to me? Should I really waste my time getting to know dad or mom's, new squeeze, new partner, new person, new love life? You don't want that. That's so hard on kids. And as a stepmother myself, I know that my husband was so careful not to introduce his daughter to anyone who wasn't important. And so that meant that I was important. I was the only person who really spent time with his daughter because my husband knew after he and I were together for a long time, knew each other as colleagues, as friends, we were on the same page as to where our relationship was going. That's when you really spend extended, important time with your kids and your new partner so that you can say to your kids, this person is important to me. Very important to be clear with kids. The other thing you want to be careful about, I'm going to get my next prop, it's okay to be affectionate, but you don't want to be in a lip lock all the time. That wouldn't be a very good idea. So curb your affection. you know, touch each other or hold hands, but you don't want to go overboard. That will alienate not only your kids, but your parents and all the other family members. So as wonderful as these two people are in their love life, they go into a lip lock, and you don't want that. So be very, very careful. So the last tip is bring a gift. Okay, but what gift should you bring? Well, if you've really done your planning, you will already have known what kinds of things the family or the kids are interested in, so that you will know to bring flowers or candies or a nice vase or toys or activity books or something very, very important. So I hope these tips have helped you, and I want to end on a really happy note. So hang on. This is a happy note. I want you to keep yourself positive. Follow these tips, and I think you'll have a very good holiday and a good opportunity for your kids to meet your new person.
Just hear the sleigh bells jingling, ring, ting, tingling too. Come on, lovely weather for a sleigh ride together with you.
Well, I live in Florida. We don't have sleigh rides, but you can get into a fun mode in your mind. So I hope these tips have helped you. Remember, plan. Get to know the family, get to know their interests, get to know what topics to avoid, and please don't confuse your kids by having a parade of people for them to not know what to do about, not know how close to get to them. So think very carefully. Thank you so much, and happy holidays.
Yeah.
Bye-bye now.
I love that, LB. And do you have just a few quick minutes just to maybe have me share back some of my, because I've got some really great questions here to ask, and I know people who are watching this, I want to just say that LB, right, I'd say Dr. Leslie Wish is probably one of the most intuitive experts in the academy for that dating, the loving, the romance, the relationships, all those different categories. And I love your props because it really conveys a really unique message, and I know our members love you in the academy. And I just wanted to say something real quick here, if I could repeat back some of my notes to make sure I heard some of your tips correct. Are you open?
Oh, of course.
One, I love the cowgirl hat. So that was like, you know, be a doer, right? Cowgirl up or cowboy up and just be a doer and do something here. I heard the be sure to be aware of your tears of regret, right? The other one was money topics. Find those topics that are taboo. Don't talk about those, right? Because that kind of creates the alpha males and the guys and the pecking order in the women.
Definitely.
I love Donald, or it was a Daisy. Yeah, Donald. I think Donald was the one that has that. Sometimes they have quick tempers. So.
Oh, Donald. Yes, Donald.
Yeah, if you have some of those quick tempers.
Yeah.
Then by all means, make sure that your partner knows about those, because it will come up, and it's not something you want to trigger.
Absolutely.
I love the common interests of the parents and the kids. Make sure that you let your partner or the person that's important in your life know those things. So when it comes up for conversations of like, you do meet the parents, oh, I heard you like older cars, or maybe the kids are like, hey, I see you're really into kites there, or skateboarding, or whatever it is, and yeah, how did you know? It sparks that common interest. Hanging out in the kitchen, oh my gosh, what a great place to hang out, because you can always give a hand and just have natural conversation while you're fidgeting with something, rather than an awkward moment of like, well, that's nice, as everybody's calmly sitting there.
Right.
Exactly. And then that was easy conversation, and then when you do introduce the person, this is somebody that is of importance to you, not just the next boyfriend or girlfriend or whatever it is. It's like, oh, well, who's the flavor of this month? Because you don't want to create that road, but this is somebody that's very important to me. And I think that's a really neat way to do that. Curb the affection, right? That's that lip locking I think you talked about, like, you know. Exactly. I love that one. You know, if you're going to do that, you know, as most of the kids would probably say to you, hey, get a room.
Ew. There's a magnet that is holding Mickey and Minnie together in a lip lock.
Mm.
So you don't want to do that. But you know, Tom, you reminded me of something important to mention. You really want your kids and your family to accept this person. So make sure that you educate them too. You've spent a lot of time learning and teaching your partner about your family, but you want to teach your family about this new person, particularly if you've had a history of bringing what they regard as the wrong kind of person. So reassure them, hey, mom, dad, or your children, this person isn't anything like, you know, Bob or Susie. They're very different. Don't worry. I learned my lesson. That kind of person's not coming into the house. And when you do that, you calm everybody down, because in their minds, they're thinking, oh no, who are they bringing to this house? I hope to God it is not another Bobby or Susie.
Exactly. I think this is great, and so thank you so much for just your awesome intuitiveness. I mean, the way you share with the props, you make it fun. It's like it's memorable, and be like, oh yeah, I remember the Mickey and Minnie, the magnet thing. Yeah, we did do that. I mean, it's so awesome what you do, and so I think all your contact information is right below. Right there's the links to go to your website. There's a way to find you in the Global Academy and all those fun, wonderful things. And thank you so much for giving us your content, as we can take your wisdom of all the years of study and training and boil it down into some simple techniques that we can do. We're definitely going to be that far ahead when it comes to the holiday season and introducing your new partner, whether it's holidays or anytime during the year. You're a really amazing lady. So thank you very much, LB, and we look forward to any more of your videos as they come out. Any last comment before we wrap up?
Yes, every tip I've given you has come from my experiences and my clients' experiences of what their intuition led them to do, such as learn about the person that you're bringing to your family, teach, educate both sides, your partner and your family. These are common sense things, but they get forgotten. So sit down, go back into cowgirl, cowboy mode, do that planning. And I have one last thing to say. I invite all of our listeners to please send me a story. Go to my website, lovevictory.com. Send me a story about when you listened to or did not listen to your intuition, because your story could be featured in my next book that I'm doing with a colleague on how to trust your intuition. So do some thinking. Be careful when you go to see family and bring a new person. Try to remember those props. Thank you so much. Happy holidays.